Well, obviously we have a good team. You know, we didn't overreact to the game against Wichita State, much like we didn't overreact to the game against Arkansas or Wake Forest or Providence or tonight's Tulsa game. You know, over the course of 30-some games, you're going to lose your share. You know, the key is having a plan and practice on how to improve. You know, I thought we had this. You know, a week off can go either way, because it's not easy having multiple practices for 7 or 8 days with during a break when school's not in session. You know, I think we went 2-a-days on 3 days. That's not easy either, especially coming off that last game. But it was all about development. How can we get better? You know, I thought Breon Mike could play tonight until yesterday. And then I knew after yesterday's practice, probably not. And I told him, you know, if you can't go Saturday, that's okay too. You know, there's a lot of basketball left. But I thought the key tonight was how much better we got through practice this week. And we came out and our defense was really good early. The entire first half, maybe for 30 minutes, and then it became a foul fest. You know, and you know, when they're going to the free throw line every possession, it just becomes a discombobulated game.
Coach, did you and the coaches do anything differently to tweak the offense for three-point shooting in that first half?
Just Rob. We got the ball in Rob's hands early in the shot clock and told him to be aggressive. You know, I said earlier that Rob cannot be a parasite. He has to be a piranha. You know, he's got to go after people. He's a lot better that way. You know, and obviously we're 13-3. You know, the games Rob hasn't played well, we've won. So, you know, can we win without Rob? Yeah, we can still win. But our team's a lot better when he's aggressive. But I thought that our ball movement was great tonight. We had 20 assists. I think every three-point shot. Now Rob had some walk-up assists because they were going under ball screens, and that's one of the things we told him to do. If they slide those ball screens, shoot it. You know, we're a good offensive rebounding team, so shoot it with confidence. But I know Rob. I know he's putting in a ton of work this week. He put in a ton of work today. You know, he was in that gym this morning, and I know he came over here. I think we had shoot around at 2 o'clock or so, and I know he was over here about 11:30 noon. Probably got up 500 shots earlier today. But that's how you get through something. You don't talk about it. You don't dissect it. You don't think about it. You work through it, and it usually solves most problems in life. Is putting more effort and more work in it.
Kelvin, he had mentioned specifically, like you said, about kind of going into attack mode, being aggressive, those drives to the bucket where if he didn't get the layup, he'd get foul or he could kick it out to somebody for an open three. Those kind of things, when you see him go through a little mini slump that people go through, and does that show you what, I mean, just it shows what he is when he can do all that stuff?
I think, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You know, when a guy goes 3 for 30 in baseball, you know, why does he go 3 for 30? Then he goes 12 for 30. Who knows? But I do know this: Rob's a lot better when he's aggressive, when he is on attack mode. Who are we playing? And I just got cross-eyed with him. We won the game. I think it was second half against South Florida. You know, he comes down in transition, almost shoots an air ball. Then he gets in the paint and throws up an air ball. That's not Rob. He's just playing so passive. But, you know, this game's not easy. The good ones make it look easy. You know, like tonight, the game was really easy for him. You know, you think, Rob's a great player. Why is the same guy that couldn't hit water if he fell out of the boat 2 weeks ago? You know, it's not easy. So, but there's a lesson in there, is keep fighting. Keep charging, and be aggressive. That's important.
What are your thoughts on the game you got from Chris Harris?
You know, big kids, there's no middle ground with them. You know, 6'10" kids, the only way they can be productive is to be active, you know, and play hard. You know, there's no productivity without activity. You know, Chris was active tonight. You know, he was completely overwhelmed against Wichita State, and I'll take some responsibility for that. The last thing I should have done was start him in that game. You know, we got one player they're not even guarding, and Chris that don't guard either, so it was 8-on-3. You know, we had. I mean, it was just a bad matchup. So we spent a lot of time with Chris this week, and I'm really happy with the way he responded tonight. Really happy with the way he responded. He competed and got better. Chris will go on a good trajectory here, but you know, you just got to keep throwing him out there. I mean, Chris is 6'10" and a half. He weighs about 250 pounds, and he's athletic. You know, he's going to get a lot better. A lot better. I think he has a higher ceiling than anybody on our team. He and Fabian both. They both have high ceilings.
You mentioned the foul fest in the second half of the game. What's running through your mind when all of your big guys have 3 and 4 fouls?
Just glad we're up 40. Just glad we're up 40. That was more important than the foul fest.
Alrighty.
Kelvin, I lost my train of thought. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Defensively, you guys hold E2 to a pair of free throws. I think he was 0 for 6 shooting.
Devin did a great job. Devin's a senior. He plays like a senior. You know, Igbanu's a good player. I didn't think we played very smart down there tonight. We could have focused on him and doubled him like we do everybody else and just completely took him down. But Anderson kid had 8 threes against Connecticut. You know, he can really shoot it. Tulsa's a good team. You know, just because they got beat like that tonight doesn't mean they're a bad team. Just same thing with Arkansas against us or us against Wichita State. North Carolina lost to Wofford. I mean, it happens. You've got to go back in those moments and say, okay, how can we get better? You know, what is the plan here? You know, a man that fails to plan, what's that old saying? He's planning to fail. Well, we have a plan, and our kids did a great job of following it.
Rob, Coach touched on that they did a different job of trying to do different things for you in the offense. Can you talk about what that was?
Just giving me the ball at the top of the key and not so much just having me standing in a corner and kind of be a catch-and-shoot guy. I mean, I feel like I can shoot, but it's not really my strength to just, stand and have someone create for me. I feel like I'm best when I can create a shot or create for someone else. Just being myself, being aggressive, and not settling.
Can you bring the mic closer, please?
Rob, along those lines, the first 5 or 6 minutes, it looks like you went out there with a purpose, like you wanted to kind of set a tone for yourself. Once you got going, was that just kind of just building off of that kind of?
Yeah, Coach Hollis told me in the first few minutes is when to get it going, and just try it out early, be aggressive, and when that first shot went through, I forgot all about the other 3 games, so I was just trying to be aggressive as possible and just help my team out to win in the first few minutes to set a tone.
For both of you guys, what was it like when all those threes falling in the first half?
To be honest, it feels good when you see all your hard work paying off. All of us work really hard to be good 3-point shooters, and just seeing it finally paying off it's a great feeling. And then seeing your teammates succeed, that's the best feeling too. Just having everybody that works hard succeed.
I said it feels good, of course. Like Armani says, we shoot as a guard group collectively a lot, and but I also have to say it feels normal because in practice we move the ball a lot and we hit a lot of threes and we know that's our strength. So when we do what we do, we can't be too happy. You know what I'm saying? You don't get a pat on the back for doing what you're supposed to do, as Coach Sampson says. So I feel like we can make that more of a norm. Of course, you're not always gonna make that many threes, but I feel like it feels pretty normal for us to hit a lot of threes with 3-point shooting team.
Did you guys know that you were just too shy away from breaking the school record with the threes?
I think Galen was on to something with the record. He kept telling us to shoot threes.
You're only 2 away.
Yeah, I think we set an American Athletic Conference record. Yes. I think that's what Galen was on. I don't know if he knew that we needed 2 more to break the school record. he would have really been pushing us to keep shooting threes. I think that's why he shot that late pull-up three, too, because he was trying to build onto the record. But he was very aware of the AAC record, but no, I don't think we were aware of the U of H record.
Galen on Twitter during the game or what, from the bench? So how's Galen knowing what's
I'm not sure. He must have word of mouth. Someone must have said it. He must have heard it. And he hopped on it.
Did you hear? There were people in the stands telling y'all shoot it. I mean, they wanted more threes. So when you guys, I mean, I know it's funny when you do that. And it's fun to have those kind. But can you wrap your mind around 18 threes?
Yeah, you know, we were just focusing on Tulsa 17 made threes versus UConn. Even though it took them overtime to get that. Going into the game plan for this game, we weren't really focused on us making so many threes. We were just focusing on not letting Henderson get good looks, E2 get good looks, and just playing sound defensively. And I guess, you know, like Coach Hampson says, when you get lost in one thing, you start hitting threes and just playing our game. So it just started coming naturally. And look up, we hit a lot of threes.
Armani, it was your three from the corner there that tied the record. I mean, you've come in and hit some big threes, but to be part of something like that, when things are really going, what's that like for you?
To be honest, I didn't know that was a three that tied it. I still thought that we were one away from breaking the conference record, but I don't know. It just feels good, you know, seeing everything that you've done build up and pay off, and it's just a great feeling to be a part of this record-setting performance.
What did you guys think about the fouls at the last 7 minutes of the game?
Coach Hampson says we're going to watch film of every single foul we committed tomorrow just to show how much better and improved we could be on defense. Because when we foul and we're giving up free throws, and Igbanu wasn't missing free throws, so we're just gift wrapping them 2 points each time. And our defensive efficiency rating could have been much better, and we could have had a much better defensive performance overall. So the fouls were definitely slowing the game down, and it was not to our favor, but we just have to be more smart, more mature.
What would be keys to winning on the game against East Carolina next game?
I think the main key is not taking any opponent for granted. You know, we just got beat by Wichita State, learned a lesson, and we could have easily came in here today like, oh, we're going to beat Tulsa, you know, but we came in here like, we're really going to beat Tulsa. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we can't have a hangover from this game and winning in a good fashion and going to East Carolina and just think they're going to lay down and let us win by 30. So we just got to go up there with a mentality like it's beginning of the conference season and anyone can lose.
Gabe Grant, that kind of three-pointer shooter?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely a shooter. Like Coach Hampson says, you can't drown in your own sweat. Shout out to Gabe because he's been working hard and you know, things maybe not been going as much as he wanted or as he's seen, but like Coach Hampson says, again, stay ready because you never know when your time will come. And I don't even think Gabe knew he was about to come in and have 4 open good looks from 3 and hit 2 of them. I wish he would have went 4 for 4. We would have really set the record. But I think that Gabe can be a main contributor on our team, and I think that if he masters his role, he really will be effective in the second half of the conference season.